Hey everyone, welcome back to Pine Hollow out of Diagnostics. Guess what got dragged in today from out of state, from Ohio, like 6 hours away. 2013 Lincoln MKS. This thing is filthy. It was on a trailer through a snowstorm. Got unloaded over there by the main road, and I actually drove it up the lane. So it starts, it runs, seems to be operational. It's not a beached whale at the moment. Let's jump in and look at what the customer said the history was and why it's here. Alright, let's first read the customer complaint. So, 2013 Lincoln, not even 100,000 miles, battery approximately 2 years old. Vehicle wouldn't start after driving in about 1.5 hours using cruise control off and on through about a 10-mile stretch of hills through an Amish buggy community. During that drive, the air kicked off and blower kicked in full, blowing hot air. Interesting. Control fan wouldn't turn off. After parking the vehicle, it would not start again and the power windows wouldn't engage to close. Put charger on, car all night. Still no start, no sound. Had vehicle towed to dealership. Tow driver engaged override, switch inside the console, put the vehicle from the garage and load it onto car hauler. Dealership replaced BCM with 3 different units. Holy crap. Used, said there were no new ones available. They were unable to program any of the units to the vehicle, stated we could pick it up, unable to repair it. Wow, that's kind of a sorry excuse for a repair attempt. When we were to pick up the vehicle along with the tow truck, driver got it to see if it would start, which it did. So I think they reinstalled the original BCM. Okay. My husband drove the vehicle home and parked it. It has started several times with no hesitation, but we have not driven it off our property. When it starts, the following is what lights up. We've got the ABS, seatbelt, track control. The left side service advanced track is on. Which has come on periodically over several months, but will turn off when hit OK is hit. Now push OK. System check comes on with one warning. Signals start blinking very rapidly. AM, FM radios all static. Okay, that's good details. So right off the bat, I'm suspecting there's a problem with the medium speed CAN, the network that ties together all of the accessories, the radio, the body control module, windows, whatever, and also the immobilizer. The car wouldn't even crank. So at some point that network was offline. That's my suspicion, but let's scan this thing for codes and see where it goes. Alright, let's turn on the key, turn off the blower, check charging system. So everything seems to be, let's just start it up. Okay, so little Christmas tree, just ABS stuff, the airbag lights on. Service advanced track, yep, like the customer said. Let's just do a full health report here. Turn on the heated seat. So everything seems to work now. Windows are fine, mirrors are fine, wipers are fine. Oh, it might even be spraying washer fluid. Amazing. Okay, 3.7 liter V6. Let's see what happens. Oh man, we have a red tree, a lot of modules in this thing. So let's save this in a report. Yep, about 98,000 miles. And place your bets now. I'm guessing it's going to be a communication problem. Let's open up the report. ABS, steering wheel position sensor, VIN identification number, okay. Missing comm with BCM, lost comm with global positioning system, ignition switch. Missing comm with BCM, invalid. So in this case, I want to start from scratch. I'm hoping this car acts up again. We have this report saved. So there's still one code in the ABS. Definitely some codes left. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4 codes left. ABS is not happy about vehicle identification number. External memory card, don't care about that. RCM says central configuration. So there's a configuration problem with this vehicle, maybe because they were swapping BCMs around. Control module vehicle option reconfiguration fault. Okay, so let me store that in a report. And I guess we'll just fix what's broken. Restore the configuration. I think we can do that with FJDS, like programming. And let this car thaw out. Take it for a test drive. Make sure all the accessories work. And see what happens. So one really annoying thing about this vehicle is I have a battery charger connected, and you turn the key on. I just want it to stay on for testing, and then every like 2 minutes it just cuts out. It says check charging system. Yeah, it's not running, I know. And then it just throws you out, and you have to like recycle the key. Smart cars are sometimes really, really annoying because they're trying to like save your battery, but you can't do the testing without pushing the button 100 times. So we have these trouble codes. One thing I'm noticing is the little voltmeter here on the TOPDON, it says 12.8 volts, but I'm charging at 13.5 on the charger. That's interesting. Let's do some voltage measurements, just preliminary. Make sure we don't have something silly like poor ground. So we're at the battery. I have the charger set to 13.5 volts. So if I measure on the charging clamps, 13.55. So the TOPDON Tornado has a very nice accurate voltmeter. So if I put my negative clamp right here, it's still 13.55. If I move my positive lead to over here, 13.25. So we have a voltage drop, from here to there, 13.3. So perhaps I should relocate my positive lead to, let's try, I don't know, this. Does that make it any better? 13.5. Okay, so maybe now the car will be happier. Let me try to log back in. Okay, that's more like it. 13.5 at the DLC. So just the charging cables weren't connected very well. So now let's see if it stays alive, because it keeps telling you to turn power off to save battery. Well, I don't want to turn the power off. I actually want to do my diagnostics. By the way, the radio seems to work just fine. Great sound. No issues. Alright, so let's do a little research here on these trouble codes. So we're worried about ABS. Use 3002 vehicle identification number. Airbag says U230064 central configuration, and the PCM says P160A control module vehicle option reconfiguration fault. I suspect these all have to do with the BCM, which right here has no trouble codes, but we don't know if the original one was reinstalled. I don't know if they tried to program it or messed something up, but we're going to have to restore the vehicle configuration. The first code I'm looking up is in the PCM P160A, and this one says DTC sets when the BCM detects a mismatch in configuration data and programmable parameters between the PCM and the BCM. So it says reprogram or update the calibration. If PCM already has the latest calibration, carry out the relearn vehicle data procedure from the service functions menu in the scan tool. Check for the other DTCs. Make sure. Okay, so that's for the PCM. For the ABS, U300262. That's this one right here. And this one says ABS module and PCM share the VIN. information over the high-speed CAN. If the ABS module does not receive these messages within a certain time frame, the module sets the DTCs. So compare failure of the VIN, it's a mismatch, and module configuration, ABS and PCM. So verify the PCM VIN. Okay. Using a scan tool, view the VIN in the PCM. Compare the VIN in the PCM on the actual plate. So we'll do that. Actually, here's the VIN of the vehicle that got pulled from the PCM, when we initially log in. And I took a picture of the actual tag on the door jamb. Let's make sure that's correct. 1 LNHL 9 DK0 DG 615375. So that matches up. The PCM I think is fine. The problem's going to be in the BCM. And last, in the airbags, this U2364. It says on the first ignition cycle, a new RCM module is installed. The BCM sends a configuration data message to the RCM. During prove out at the beginning of each subsequent ignition cycle, BCM sends configuration data to RCM, and the RCM compares the message to the message that was received during the very first ignition cycle. Okay. DTC sets if the RCM receives a configuration data message that does not match the configuration data that was previously received and stored. So what do we do then? Possible sources: RCM or BCM configuration. BCM, RCM. Yes. So it is stored on demand. Go to AR2. Check for the correct BCM. Using the log viewer function of the diagnostic scan tool, retrieve and record the BCM control module part number. Check the recorded part number against the part number listed in the Ford catalog. So they mean just go into BCM and look at module information. Module information. So that's what we have there, but how do we know it's right or not? And carry out PMI for the BCM using as-built data. Clear DTCs and repeat the RCM self-test. Okay, so we might have to do that if this thing got improperly programmed. Because when you're replacing the BCM, right here it just says BCM, removal, installation, if installing a new module, upload the module configuration information to the scan tool prior to removing the module. If installing a new BCM, all vehicle keys are erased during the parameter reset procedure. For vehicles without intelligent access, verify 2 keys are present. The steps necessary only if the BCM module is being replaced. So we don't, even if this is the original BCM and the configuration is messed up, we have to do it from scratch. So installation, follow on-screen instructions for performing the configurable engine immobilizer lock operation. Download the BCM configuration information from the scan tool to the new BCM. If a new BCM is installed, the BCM and the PCM will require a parameter reset to allow the BCM PCM to recognize each other. Carry out the parameter reset procedure. So I'm sure something wasn't done here correctly. Programming and relearning. If equipped with intelligent access, which we are, carry out the keyless entry keypad code reset. Train the tire pressure sensors. The tires were all low and it didn't set a pressure code, so we have to do that. And This thing is a 2013, so I'm not sure if we're going to have access to PATS. We can try to log in and see if we have PATS access, do the parameter reset, but I don't want this thing to turn into a beached whale here. Alright, so on motorcraftservice.com, in the as-built request, this is free for anyone to use. You just punch in your VIN, and these are the actual calibration numbers for all of the modules. PCM, site object detection, accessory protocol interface module, global positioning system, image processing, instrument cluster, vehicle dynamics, steering column, body control module. That's the big one. This has this many lines of information. Audio control module, power steering control module, remote function actuator, heating ventilation control, RCM, etc. So we're worried about the BCM. So should we try programmable module installation for the BCM? So please select yes if the available original BCM is still installed in the vehicle. Well, no, the original module, I mean, if this is programming's messed up, we're going to have to say no. Select manual, screen display parameters, obtained from network original database according to VIN. So manual, and let's just go through these numbers. See, they're all zeros right now. And we'll start with a 7260101, and we have to punch in all these numbers. That's going to take a while, but I guess we can try to go through that. So line by line, you click on the line and then you type in, for example, this one's going to be 10 digits, so 0101, 02, 0136, and it keeps going and going. Let me try to get into PATS first, just to make sure we can program keys on this thing in case something goes wrong and we get, locked out. So let's try PATS. We'll have to wait 10 minutes, I'm sure. Then we'll see what options are available. 10 minutes, okay. Where's the countdown timer? Here we go. So let's try to get in. Uh-oh, so this came up after about a minute. Cannot get access, security access for RFA remote function actuator module. That sucks, I was afraid of that. So it let me into the menu, but I don't think we'll be able to do anything. Click ignition key programming. It says parameter reset, BCM and RFA. Okay, and that's it. So we can try again, but I don't think this is going to work. This is what we get into with these new cars. Might have to take it to the dealer and have these guys properly, reconfigure everything. Because when you start swapping parts around, and that dealer couldn't program it, and they just gave it back to the customer, well, they broke it more than it was before. Now the configuration's messed up, and only a dealer can fix that. You see the conflict here. So we'll play around with this thing, but I really don't want to erase something, brick it here, and then have no access to program it again. Unfortunately, that's the way it goes. Okay, so I tried again, and now it says got security access for RFA. Okay, cannot get security access for PCM. Okay, got security access for PCM. Okay, do you wish to continue? Yes. Here we go. What do we do now? parameter reset BCM and PCM powertrain control module. Should we do that? Radio ignition key programming. Parameter reset BCM and RFA function, remote function actuator. So I'm not sure if we have to reprogram the BCM or just do a parameter reset. You know, what did that do? Did that do anything? Do we have to wait 10 minutes again? It just kicked me out. That sucks. Alright, so I went through the PMI and the BCM and filled out all of the available 40 whatever rows according to as-built information, and the rest of them are zeros, so I'm going to hit OK. Zero 72607 incomplete. Which row is that? Oh, it was right. I actually missed one. This one right here. So it should be 0338. 0338. Okay. 72648. That's it. We don't have 72648. 47 is the last one. Should we select no? We'll ignore and continue to perform writing configuration parameters. No? Switch to off position. Alright, key off. Okay. Okay. Key on. Okay. Procedure succeeded. Okay. Switch to off position. Okay. Alright, let's scan for codes again. Look, airbag lights off, ABS lights are off, 0 warnings. Let's smart scan. I'm sure there will be some history codes. We'll delete everything, but this is promising. Alright, so let's clear DTCs, see what happens. That one's green. That one's green. And that one's green. Amazing. Key off. Let's reset it. Fires up. No warning lights. I'm going to shut it off and turn the key back on. Let's back out and do another smart scan. ABS is happy. BCM is fine. Let's see if the hey, turn signals are now. Is that normal? That's kind of an interesting flashing pattern. But they definitely don't flash fast anymore. They did when we started. This is amazing. So we input new calibration data and did the PMI for the BCM without having to reprogram anything else, like the keys and whatever. So the only code left is this external memory card. Let's take this thing for a test drive. Alright, let's see how this baby drives. Is that normal? I have no idea. It's kind of a musical turn signal. Let's take it around the block, try the cruise control, see if anything glitches out. So far so good. And this is probably the stupidest volume control operation I've ever seen. You just kind of... I want to turn it down, turn it down, turn it down. Am I doing it wrong? What do you do, slider? Or do you just keep tapping it until it responds? So stupid. Uh-oh, service advanced track warning came on. Let's pull over to that blind spot system fault. Okay. Get some warning lights going on. Everything else still okay. Let's see, turn signal. It's like fast click, slow click, fast click, slow click. How about going right? Interesting. Alright, we'll pull over and scan for codes.